Hey y'all. Okay, so if you're planning to buy a house within the next 12 months, please do not make these mistakes. So today we are talking about the biggest home buyer no-nos that could cost you money, delay your closing, and just make it really hard for you to purchase a home. So I'm Shadria, and my special guest today is Kevin. Kevin, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hey, my name is Kevin Jefferson. I go by the name of the People's Lender. I am a mortgage loan professional who can help you in all 50 states, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us. So now if somebody wants to get a home within the next year, I'm thinking that we can do 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, and then, go from there under contract. And then, as we go. So if it's 12 months before I know I want to buy a home, what's one of the biggest mistakes that they might make?
So one of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking that 12 months is too far out, and it's not, right? When I say it's not too far out, it may take you 9, 10, 11, 12 months to get your credit prepared or to be able to start saving some funds. So even if you're a year out, I would recommend you speaking to a lender and finding out what you need to do to be in position. Now, prior to going to a lender, most of the time people don't pay attention or look at their credit. So, what I would advise you to do, even before you call a lender, is to go to annualcreditreport.com. With annualcreditreport.com, it will allow for you to pull all three of your credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and you'll be able to take a look at those to see what's exactly on your credit. Couple key points. It's free, right? It's not going to give you your credit score, and that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking to see what things on your credit that you may need to get rid of, that you're aware of, that you weren't aware of, right? Getting you yourself getting familiar with your credit. Oftentimes people talk to me and say, hey, I don't know. I don't know what's on my credit. I hadn't looked at it because I don't use it. Just get familiar with your credit. Get you a couple color pens or markers and just start marking stuff that, hey, X, I'm familiar with, check, I'm not familiar with, or vice versa. Other thing that I want to stress to you, don't major in the minor. And I'm gonna say don't major in the minor. A lot of times you see TikTok videos, Instagram, YouTube shorts that say, hey, if you're fixing your credit, you're doing this, you don't want to have old addresses or old jobs and old phone numbers. That's not really important when it comes to the lending side for residential. You can go and clean those things up, but it's not the end all be all. We don't care what your old phone number is, maybe the address that they have for the credit agency, but just don't worry about those small things. I want you to look and see what's on your credit that needs to be addressed. And then from that point, you're familiar with it. Then you can reach out to the lender and say, hey, I'd like to apply for a mortgage. I'm looking to purchase in the next 12 months. That's probably the biggest thing. I think people think 12 months is a long time, and it goes by fast. Like we're almost through 2026. We're past halfway through. So that's in 12 months, I would say start looking to talk to a lender.
Okay. No, thank you, Kevin. And honestly, from a realtor perspective, I absolutely love when people come to me super early. Like 12 months is perfect because at that point we can start maybe comparing neighborhoods, trying to figure out, okay, in this area taxes are 3.7%, over here is 1.9 or 2.3. So I like that we can compare that. And that way it'll help you narrow it down once you are to that 3-month time frame and we're really ready to get the ball rolling. And we can help you with your budget, and make sure that whatever the house budget you're setting, it also still fits whatever your current lifestyle is. That way we don't want to get you house poor. So Kevin, let's talk about, I guess, 6 months out. From a 6-month out perspective, what's one of the biggest no-nos that people do that might put their home buying goal at risk?
Thinking that they can co-sign or buy a car with someone. Do not do that. Do not co-sign for anyone. Do not buy a car within 6 to 12 months of you purchasing a home. Example, simple example. If you get a $500 a month car payment, that's $500 a month less of a home you can qualify for. When you do it in reverse and you buy the house, then the car, there's always a ton of options for you to get a car once you have the home, but in reverse, it could affect your ability to get qualified, get pre-approved, or to even buy a house in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's 6 months out. I know you mentioned the car. Is that when they should be coming to you as well? Or like maybe that's a little bit too early. Let's just wait a little bit. But you know, for a fact, don't buy a car. Don't be opening up, more credit cards, things like that. What do you think?
If you're within that 6 month window, so let's say 12 months ago, you weren't even thinking about buying a house. Then all of a sudden, you frustrated with where you rented at. You're just like, man, I'm paying a whole bunch of money for this place and I have a little bit of space, or I can't get a trampoline for my kids or the dog for your kids. And you say, you know what, I want to buy a house. That's not too early either. Let me kind of give you a timeline. 6 months from when your lease is up. Technically, it's 4 months because within 60 days of your lease being up, you need to tell your landlord whether you're going to stay or you're going to go, depending on if you're in a private setting or apartment complex and it's property management. So that 4 month window can determine whether you have the ability to buy or you have to go into a new lease. Because if you come to me, and I say, hey, it's going to take about 8 months for you to get your credit straight, then okay, I'm not going to be able to get my credit straight before my lease is up. So I'm going to suggest you ask your landlord if you can go month to month. Or I've seen some people say, hey, I'll just ask if I can do a 6 month lease. That gives me time to make sure we got what we need and I have some money saved. So that 6 month window is just as important as the 12. That would be my advice. But don't co-sign. We're headed, in a couple months, we're heading into the holiday season. Don't do extra. Don't use Affirm. Don't use Klarna. Any of those kind of afterpays, because it's going to come up and it's going to affect your ability to get approved if you can't pay off those debts.
Okay. So that's 6 months. Now what about 3 months before? Absolutely. What should you not be doing and what should you consider, starting to do from a mortgage perspective?
I'm going to be honest with you. You shouldn't wait 3 months before your lease is up. Right. And the reason why I say that is, again, the time frame, that gives you 30 days to figure out if you can get pre-approved. And if your credit's not in position, then you can't. Or that gives you 30 days, but then there's people who drag their feet. They piecemeal documents. They don't have access to all their documents. Like, I've had people's process be held up because they don't know how to access their pay history. They can't go get their pay stubs. They can't get their 401k. They don't know where to find their W-2s at. They, like those different things. And when you get frustrated, you just let it go. And then you go back to it when you are less frustrated. But then every day that you don't provide those is a day that you lose. But within 3 months, you definitely, if you're listening to this live, you don't want to wait till 3 months before your lease is up. I've had people with 30 days with their leases up, and they don't know. They think that you can buy, like you rent, sign a lease in 2 days and then be done. And that's not the process. You have to find the house. Sometimes that takes 30 days. So within 3 months, continue to save, continue to not co-sign, not get any new debt, all of those things. And if important. If you know that you're going to be getting a raise in the next couple of months, make sure you let your lender know, because then that could make a difference in your ability to get pre-approved or not.
That helps you or hurts you?
It helps you.
Okay.
It helps you. So I guess what is a no-no is don't hold that information out on them.
Right. Don't hold out. Okay. Got it. Because they can kind of put those future that you would need, like, I guess maybe a some sort of offer letter or something like that, or just the knowledge of knowing is good enough.
The knowledge of knowing. So then when we do a verification of income and verification of employment, we say, hey, when is, Shadra's next raise? And then, sometimes they're like, hey, it's within the next 30 days, and they put it on there, and then we can use the higher income, which could make a huge difference in their ability to qualify, or their ability to get more if they need more.
Okay. Alrighty. So that sounds good. 3 months out. That's what we're doing. We're making sure that we're pulling that paperwork together. And you kind of touched on some of the paperwork. Can you just go through that again? Like, what things should they, I guess what will most lenders be asking them to pull together?
So we're going to ask you for your most recent 30 days of pay stubs, your most recent 2 months of bank statements, all pages, your most recent 2 years of W-2s, your most recent, if you're 1099, your most recent 2 years of 1099, your most recent 2 years of tax returns if you're self-employed, and or if you may be trying to do some type of first-time home buyers program that requires tax returns, a copy of a valid unexpired driver's license. If you receive unexpired, if you receive any type of additional income, whereas Social Security, we need your Social Security awards letter. If you receive any type of alimony or child support, we need those court orders and awards letters. If you receive VA disability, we need that awards letter. We need your, if you were retired and you receive a pension, we need that pension statement showing how much you'll get. If you receive some sort of annuity, we need that. So anything that's considered any type of income, whether you have a job or not a job, but you receive income, provide those documents, and it always has to be the most recent.
Okay, most recent documents. Okay, so now they are pre-approved. Yay. Now let's say we are in the process now where we're shopping for a home. We haven't quite found it yet, but we're pre-approved. Now what? What's the biggest no-no that they should not be doing? Biggest mistake you're seeing out there?
Don't buy anything on Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm. I see people continue to do it because they say, hey, it doesn't show up on my credit report. However, let's say you did it and Shadra has found you the perfect home. You're under contract, we're in underwriting, and you're just like, I don't want to use this money, so I'm gonna put it on Afterpay and Klarna. That sounds great and sounds like a logical idea. However, let's say we need to ask for your most recent pay stub. Your most recent bank statement, and it is on there. Then it opens up a whole new ball of wax, which means then we have to reach out to each one of the accounts to get a payoff letter to see how much time is left and whether we have to count it or it has to be paid off in order for you to qualify. So I repeat, do not use any of those services at all during your process of purchasing a home, because it may not show on your credit, but it will show in your bank statements.
Okay. And I agree. Like, from my perspective, I always tell people, if they're even thinking about it, like if it's a question that they want to ask me in regards to, should I buy this or can I go get my furniture, this, that, and the other, once you get a pre-approved, I need you to call your lender, because that 2-minute conversation could save you weeks and months of frustration, because you're going to be really mad if somebody didn't tell you. But honestly, we didn't know that you were going to go buy a car. We told you not to buy a car. It was in the paperwork. I'm sure it was in an email that I sent. But people get excited when they start getting, some extra money, and it's it's sad how it can impact someone just, because you thought that it was okay to go get that affirm or finance that vacation or whatever it is. So last one, we are now under contract. We found the perfect house, Kevin. We found the perfect house. What's the biggest no-no that buyers should not do?
Moving around a bunch of money. Moving around money in general. People play musical banks with their money, meaning they have money that goes into their checking account, and they move money from their checking account to the savings account, and then sometimes they move it from the savings account to their spouse's account. And then when they find out they need the money, they move it back from the spouse's account to their account. And then once money, everything has to be verified. So if we see money that comes in that is not attached to any type of income that you receive, the underwriter's going to question it. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily ask about money going out that way unless it looks like it's a bill. But then when your spouse or whoever gives you that money sends it back to you, we have to verify where those funds came from. People say, well, why? It's my husband. We don't know if the seller or somebody else gave your husband the money to give to you. So we just kind of have to verify those things. Sometimes we've been able to track them down and trace it. And sometimes we just, even though we know it's the person's money, we have to consider the gift, which sounds, oh, okay, no problem. We'll just use it as a gift. Sometimes using a gift will kick your approval out because it's not funds coming from you. So instead of moving money around, just leave things as they are. Even as simple as this, some of your money is in savings for the purchase of your home. Some is coming from your checking. Instead of trying to put it all in one bank, just leave it where it is. And when we ask for documents, of where your funds are, just provide both bank statements, and that'll be simpler. Because if you move that money from one account to the other, then we got to do a paper trail. And if something shows up in another account that we never saw, then it creates a problem. So that's why I said musical money. They just move money around because everybody do banking differently, Yeah. They do banking differently.
Okay. Well, what would you say? I guess we've kind of went through that process, 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, pre-approval, and now we're under contract. What would you say your home buyer tip of the week is from mortgages? What is the one thing they need to walk away with or do?
Apply. Applying will let you know everything you need to know, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I will say that all lenders are not created equal, and all lenders do not give additional information outside of I can approve you or not approve you. Applying allows for them to pull credit. Allow for the lender to do a hard pull. I don't care what nobody says. Allow for them to do a hard pull. A hard pull takes away anywhere from 0 to 5 points from your credit score, right? If you don't have the score, the goal is to help you get the score. So whether you have, if your requirement is 640 and you got 540 and they pull in your credit, the lender didn't mess up your credit. That happened before you came to the lender. Let them pull it and let them allow to give you a game plan. If you do have the score and you drop those points, they can help you get it back, or you still may qualify. So if you have any inkling of wanting to purchase a home, apply.
6 months out, right?
It could be a year.
Oh, a year out? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If you know your stuff is bad, apply a year out, because they can give you a game plan. And you know what, Shadra? This will probably be the second tip. Even if you know that your credit is not the greatest, do not automatically run and go get credit repair. Because credit repair, listen, it does work. I've sent clients to it and it does work, but I've also seen people spending money using credit repair or spent money using credit repair, and they could have just took the money they used for credit repair and paid the bill off.
Yeah. Yep.
We
Because some of
don't
them
care
are
if
really
it shows
expensive.
up. AR, we don't care if it doesn't show up or does show up. We care about, does the profile look the way we need it to be in order for you to get qualified? And you don't have to have perfect credit.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Kevin. And I guess that would be my tip of the week too. Just go ahead and apply. And Kevin, for sure, you are an amazing lender. Y'all definitely go and follow his YouTube. It is the People's Lender. Follow him because he gives all types of information, and he frequently and consistently does lives where you can actually ask questions. So again, I'm Shadria Patton. And if you are thinking about moving to Houston, definitely reach out. Kevin, you got anything for him?
Yeah, I can be reached at kevin.jefferson@ccm.com. And you can also follow me on YouTube at Kevin Jefferson, the People's Lender. And I'm also the same thing on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. All right. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.